Britney, big day for Britney. People were cheering. She won a huge victory in court. A judge granted her petition to suspend Jamie Spears from his role as her conservator, effective immediately. He has been handling her affairs since 2008.
I watched
a very long time.
The Netflix documentary, because there's two. There's one on Hulu and there's one on Netflix that just came out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Two takeaways. One, the health reasons they could do that to her were questionable.
Okay.
And two, she was crying to get out of it immediately, but that was all covered up.
Really?
So
she fought it out of the gate.
That was kind of the new information that I took out of that I hadn't seen in previous Britney stuff. Worth a watch, though, if you're a Britney fan.
Wow. Well, the chaos isn't quite over. It isn't entirely amicable either. Jamie's attorney lobbied for the conservatorship to be ended entirely, and Britney's lawyer accused him of wanting to, quote, suppress evidence of his corruption. It's going to be a hearing on terminating the conservatorship early, entirely, on November 12th. Britney hasn't commented yet. She was busy flying a plane yesterday.
I was telling you guys that in our Facebook Live video, she was flying this prop plane for the first time, like over an island. Look how beautiful the picture is I'm showing you here. But she was in like the, what's that called? The co-pilot chair. Like she just hopped in a little prop plane and flew it over a couple of islands.
And there she goes. But her boyfriend, Sam, did post a picture of a female lion and said, the power of the lioness.
All right. Well, another e-news this morning. Somewhere in your travels, if you travel to the weird places that Jake Gyllenhaal does, you've probably heard of Nudicles.
Yes.
Nudicles are fake testes that you can buy for your pet after he's had his real ones snipped. And you can supposedly get them for any pet that gets neutered, including dogs, cats, horses, and even bulls.
Well, my Will just had this surgery a couple of days ago, and I thought they just removed everything, but they kind of don't. They leave like the sacks there and just remove what's on the inside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I guess what's left will kind of shrivel up.
And fall off?
No, just kind of, when there's nothing in there to keep it full and puffy.
Gotcha.
I don't know. It looks weird.
Well, the Nudicles company has some famous customers like Jake Gyllenhaal on The Tonight Show this week. He revealed that he had just had his dog's plums picked, and his vet suggested the phonies.
It's good to see you, buddy. You seem kind of down.
I had to cut my dog's off. As he's gotten a little bit older, he's 7 years old now, his prostate has become a problem. So they suggested that I get him neutered for health reasons. And so I said, okay, good. That needs to happen. Sure. My doctor had suggested that maybe he should get Nudicles. They're prosthetic testicles. So I said no.
Of course, yeah.
Of course. And then I was like, well, what do they look like?
Dude, you can get in trouble for Googling this stuff like that.
So what I saw was what happens with a dog when they don't have them, and it's just an empty sack of...
All right, Jake, thanks.
So I ended up calling my doctor the night before surgery and saying, can we get these Nudicles? Anyway, long story short, he has Nudicles.
There you go.
Oh,
that's funny.
Yeah, they say like emotionally they can be really bummed out sometimes after that surgery, and this helps them psychologically.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on him to see if he's, feeling a little less of himself.
Oh,
poor guy.
How long is the recovery? Like,
he's pretty much like he can go do whatever he wants to do. Now, Karma, she had her spaying. She got spayed 2 days ago too. I have her locked in a bedroom. She's fine, but I can't let her run around with the other ones because can't get too rowdy there. But she doesn't like being secluded.
Oh,
I know
her isolated. Poor babe.
Solitary.
Yeah, she's in confinement.
We got to take a break here. We got more e-news to come, including why Neil Patrick Harris was so angry with Mayim Bialik as your e-news continues.
After 11 years off the air, NBC is bringing back the original Law & Order for a 21st season. At this point, when there's a body in Central Park, like 6 different Law & Order casts show up to investigate.
After passing Jeff Bezos this week to once again become the world's richest person, Tesla CEO Elon Musk said he was going to send Bezos a silver medal and a statue of the number 2, but then it turned out the only way to do that was with Amazon.
The CDC will soon decide whether it's okay to mix and match booster shots from different vaccines. Amazing. Who knew we could mix and match vaccines like tops and bottoms at Old Navy? If you got Moderna, you can get Pfizer. If you got Pfizer, you can get Moderna. And if you got Johnson & Johnson, then you should get both.
6:38. Jeff and Jenn, Cincinnati's Q102. Weather-wise, mostly sunny today. We'll see a high around 81. And tonight, for the Bengals game, a few clouds, cooler, temperatures in the mid-50s, so it should be pretty nice. It's going to be great football weather tonight at Paul Brown Stadium. Right now, 63 here at Cincinnati's Q102.
So Kylie Jenner launched her new Kylie Swim line last month, and the reviews are starting to come in. Consensus seems to be that they're trash.
Oh,
Not
really?
good.
Like cheap?
Seams are really sloppy. The fabric is so sheer that your unmentionables don't stand a chance of remaining unmentionable.
Oh, so not that they don't like the style. They're saying it's just a poor
Crappy,
quality.
shoddy quality. Yep. So one woman on TikTok said, quote, "It just shows everything. The material is just like paper thin."
My Kylie Swim just got delivered, so let's go try it on. Okay, I would show you these on, but I literally can't. The material is so thin that it just shows everything. Don't even get me started on the quality of this one piece. First of all, the seams are like very messed up. The seaming, it looks terrible, and it is so paper thin. I don't know why Kylie and her products have a chokehold on me, but I was kind of excited about these, and I would give them like a 2 out of 10. I'm dead serious when I say that you can get better quality swimsuits for half the price at Target. And not to mention, they're kind of just as cute.
Wow. Another reviewer noted that the bottoms are about as narrow as the front as they are in the back. She said, "You need to be waxed, lasered. If you have any hair down there, it's going to show."
Oh, no. But they all are. You know what I mean? Like the whole Kardashian crew, none of them have any body hair besides what's on their head and their
Right.
eyebrows.
I think the construction would be a little better, though.
Yeah.
You know.
The
That they would use
seams.
some decent material.
I'm
you
not
think.
surprised by the front and the back being the same width, though. You know, just if you know the brand. Mm-hmm. That's kind of
Kind of how they roll.
Yeah.
Well, Maya Bialik hates musicals.
She's not alone. I think there are a couple other people in this room that maybe aren't all that fond.
I'm not a big musical fan either, but there are some exceptions to that rule. Like I thought Book of Mormon was very funny and very good. I thought Hamilton was great. So
I remember seeing Oklahoma as a kid, and I thought it was awesome because, you know, the farmer and the cowman should be friends.
there you go.
Yes.
Sound of Music. So, I mean, I have my exceptions to the rule. So I guess generally speaking, it wouldn't be fair to say. But this dislike of musicals that Bialik seems to have actually destroyed her friendship with Neil Patrick Harris. This happened.
He's a big fan of the musical.
Oh,
like
he's a huge
in
Broadway
them.
guy.
Yeah, and he's hosted the Tonys.
Absolutely.
Like he's massive.
This went down in the late 90s when Maya went with her boyfriend to see Neil Patrick Harris in Rent. When it was over, the audience gave the show a standing ovation, but Maya wasn't impressed. In fact, she turned to her boyfriend and she said, "I'm not standing for this."
Oh, God.
I know, that's kind of mean.
Just shut up and stand up.
Just fake it. Just pretend, be nice, be polite.
Why?
Well, she looked up and noticed that Neil was looking right at her when this was all happening. She went backstage to see him after the show, and he said to her, "Why did you say you weren't going to stand up?" I'm kind of surprised he could hear her, but evidently he had actually read her lips.
Yeah.
And she says, quote, "I did not have a good answer. It was terrible. It was bad." And they didn't speak for a long time after that. But Neil apparently forgave her. He even sent her flowers once when he heard that she was still carrying her guilt over that whole thing. So,
wow.
Yeah, she told the story on the Late Late Show with James Corden, and I guess she feels pretty bad about it now. You know,
Yeah.
loves Neil, but yeah.
I think we can all think back and have one moment when we were unjustly an a-hole.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like,
Yep. In 1997, I might have had one or two.
Yeah.
Also, to think about the Broadway shows, they're really like you're saying. Like I love shows, and I would have walked out of Cats. Like it just was not for me.
Yeah.
So not all of them are for everyone.
Sure.
Phantom of the Opera, which I know is like one of the biggest ones out there that people love, and I couldn't stay awake.
See, I like that one a lot because we played the music in marching band, so I feel like it's got a little nostalgia for me. But I watched Cats, and I was like, I couldn't.
I gotta get.
I don't get it.
I don't. Yes,
I don't get it.
Quit crawling around me.
and I just hated it. I don't know what it was. Like they come down the aisle and they're swinging from the ceiling, and nothing
And they're
makes
acting like
sense.
cats.
And then they lick themselves.
They're not cats.
Yes,
They're people.
it was not for me.
Well, Tom Brady is going to most likely break Drew Brees' all-time passing yards record on Sunday. And, of course, the best part of this is it's going to be happening at Gillette Stadium against the Patriots at his old home.
Yeah.
So Drew's record is 80,358 yards, and Tom only needs 68 yards to beat that. So he'll probably do it in the first quarter.
Oh.
Drew isn't salty about it, though. In fact, he said, I'm a firm believer that records are meant to be broken. I can't think of a guy who has invested more into his career and his preparation and kind of what he's meant for the game. If you're trying to go to the game, good luck with that one because ticket prices sold out, of course, but resale anywhere from $225 to over $4,500 a seat.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
So,
The cheapest is $300.
That
Yeah.
is crazy.
you know, we have a friend that's a huge Patriots fan and was in love with Tom Brady and was semi-devastated, of course, when he left. And so I know she was asked about this weekend's game, and she's like, it's like watching your ex-boyfriend with a new girl.
Yeah. A lot of people were speculating as to whether or not Tom Brady would be booed at Gillette Stadium, and the general consensus is that he will not be booed. He will be cheered.
I think so.
But if the Patriots start losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it's all bets are off, and it's going to get ugly
You
for
think
both
so?
Tom Brady and Mac Jones.
Oh, wow.
And speaking of football,
How do you stand though? Like you're a fan of the Patriots,
Well,
and you
and
like
the Bucks.
Tom.
Well, and the Bucks, because we were down there.
Yeah.
for
So
a long
where are
time.
you standing, Jeff Thomas?
How do you not root for the greatest of all time? I just that's kind of where I am.
Because you're a loyalist to the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm a loyalist to people who impress me. You know, I'm a fan. I'm a streak follower, man. Like I go for the heroes of any sport, regardless of where they play. And Tom Brady is just.
Would you say, that you're not so much a sports fan, but you're a fan of great stories?
Yes.
And Tom Brady is a great story.
He's the greatest of all time.
And don't we want him to go out on top when he finally decides whether it's this year or when he turns 50? You don't want to see him decline and then leave his career kind of like
look like Ben Roethlisberger at that last Bengals game.
right.
Like that.
For sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
We don't want to see that happen to Tom.
I don't. I do want to see him go on top. And the question is, like, how do you know when? And it sounds to me like the Patriots thought it would be sooner than later, and he proved them wrong. So at what point do you say, all right,
I'm done.
I did it. I'm stepping off.
Yeah, but wasn't that you had that clip where he was talking to Gronkowski saying he might go until he's 50?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
He's kidding around, though, right?
Look at him. Look at the man. I mean, oh my
Yeah.
God, when you talk about just health, I mean, the way that he lives his life and just what he does to
His
take care
discipline.
of his body and his mind,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
mind-blowing.
No matter how much of an a-hole or a tool you think he is, he's the greatest. I mean, we're lucky to be witnessing the greatest of all time.
In our lifetime, yeah.
Who will follow him?
Joe Burrow.
All right,
Maybe.
so let's talk about
Let's hope
Joe
so.
Burrow. Joe Burrow is going to be facing rookie Jacksonville quarterback and fellow Heisman Trophy winner Trevor Lawrence tonight. Jacksonville Jaguars at Paul Brown Stadium. Bengals are 2-1, fresh off their win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be an incredible night. It's going to be interesting, and they're also going to feature the big Ring of Honor ceremony. The team will induct Kenny Anderson, Ken Riley, Anthony Munoz, Paul Brown into the Ring of Honor.
It's a big night. It's an exciting night.
Yep. How's Ken feeling?
I think he's really excited,
gonna be there?
and yeah, all of us on the board of the Ken Anderson Alliance are really pumped for him, and it's going to be a great night.
Yeah, they're honoring the 1981 Super Bowl team. About 40 of the team members are expected to attend the game, including our Ken Anderson.
Yeah,
So
it's
look forward
great.
to that. Anything else on the e-news front, Jen?
That's all I got for now.
And we'll leave it there. More coming up after 7 o'clock. In the meantime, straight ahead, we got 3 headlines for you. 2 of those headlines are fake. 1 headline is real. If you can guess the real headline, you're going to Homerama, right?
Yep, that's where you're going.
All right, that's next on Cincinnati's Q102. But
Thanks for listening to the Q102 Jeff and Jen Morning Show podcast, brought to you by CVG Airport. Fly healthy through CVG. For more information, go to CVG Airport /fly healthy.